Hello, my name is John Garcia. I've been married 17 years. I have 4 children, Faith, Hope, Peter, and Charity. And I'm here to talk to you about child development. The first thing I'd like to chat about is actually my daughter, Hope. We're going to focus on my 5th grader, who is 9 right now. The first thing I would like to share is what are some of the experiences I have with her at age 9? Well, it is much different growing up in our culture today back then as it is now. And what I mean by that is that socially we have changed as a culture. And so raising her in today's society in a public school setting is much different than when I was raising her in a Catholic school, because my daughter was at a parochial school raised by, being taught by Catholic nuns. And so when we moved back to Covina, we kind of in this area here, now she's, back in a public school and actually at a school where I went to. And so, which is very exciting for me, but I can tell you that the challenges that I face with her as a 9-year-old can be disturbing because I'm dealing with bullying. Hope is very, I would just say, charismatic. She's very energetic and she has gifts like all of my children. But her gift, she's just a very joyous kid. She's always happy. She's just excited to share about life and even our faith at times, which you really don't see, I think, that often in a public school now because they've taken the commandments out, they've taken prayer out of those school systems. But Hope is one of those individuals that is not afraid to share her faith or express herself. And for that, she's been picked on. She's been bullied by others at school. We've had cyberbullying. And these are issues that I think are very serious ones in our culture today. But then we have those moments of just pure joy with Hope and her development. But I will tell you that in our schools today, it can stunt, I think, child development too and their growth if we were to allow this to happen as a culture, which is why I'm very thankful that we don't, and this is not something that we tolerate because we truly want our children to grow up and be fruitful and good citizens.
I'm Mrs. Tara Milana. I'm a 3rd grade teacher, and this is going on my 19th year of teaching. I taught 1 year 2nd grade and then 18 years in 3rd grade.
And so with Hope, what I have found, especially in a public school setting, is that because of some of the bullying and some of the issues that she's had with other girls her age, before I go there, I will say that my daughter Hope is is a very beautiful young girl. What I mean by that is she's got an attraction about her that people are captivated to her beauty. She made the cover of a Covina magazine at one time. She's modeled for actually another for a company that does safety, because that was kind of like my industry. I was a safety risk specialist and all into OSHA compliance. And so the other component of Hope's upbringing as a 9-year-old in 5th grade is that some of these experiences that she's had with the bullying and I think emotionally speaking, there is there's a feeling that I have with Hope where she's always concerned about how others think of her because of the bullying, because of the way she's been treated by other kids at school with cyberbullying. But I like to try to take those moments with her and to try to show her value in forgiving. And one thing I like to teach my children when they're going through emotional disturbances like this, especially at school and worried about what others think and right and wanting to fit in, is that, hey, look, you're a child of God and God loves you the way that you are. And God calls us to forgive others because sometimes these kids don't know what they do. And honestly, do we really know where these kids are coming from? Do we truly know what those children are going through in their own house? As a family of 6, we've been through things in our home. But we want to give our kids that expression of love. And so I think the one thing that is hard, I think, as a parent, is dealing with a young girl's emotional stability, because as they grow older, girls have tantrums. They don't get their way, they throw things, they say things, but that's human nature. We all have a fallen nature. And with my daughters, we just wanted to kind of help them blossom.
So in 3rd grade, most children are 8 and turning 9 years old. And 3rd grade's a really big transition year for developing more independence and responsibility from their families and teachers. So they're taking on a lot more in their classroom, and just really looking at themselves more as a learner and not just as like that whole group and following along. So they're kind of trying to find out who they are, and experimenting with the rules and pushing the limits on certain things. Yeah, I mean,
I often reflect on how well that I'm raising my children, whether it's at Holy Mass or, time, in my private prayer time. But I will tell you that my 9-year-old daughter, Hope, I think about what can I do differently in her young life to help her blossom into the person God is calling her to be. For me, it really is about her emotional stability and her development as a child. But that starts in the home. We've talked a little bit about, what happens in the schools and the influences that she has in social media and TV. These things, these influences, these outside influences, I think have a big part in the development of our youth today. And so I would just like to express, we don't do the Xbox thing at home. There are certain things that we don't do. We don't allow our kids to do. We don't want them to get sucked into that, and as a father of 3 daughters and 1 son, for me what I would do is just to spend more time with her. I really think about what I can do now to help her grow, help her grow to be a good student, to be a straight A student. One challenge I really would like to express here, because this is for Covina Valley Unified School District, is I would like to say that we struggle with the Common Core. The Common Core, the way that it's structured, it's much different. It's a good learning system, don't get me wrong. However, it's much different learning than we had as a kid. The way that we arrived at simple mathematical, equations or answers are much different than the way she's got to explain it today. And that is a little bit of a challenge for me as a parent. So wanting to really understand that would be a goal of mine on what is expected of the Common Core, because now I'm going to have other children that are coming up to the school system. So what I would be doing differently is really getting my hands wrapped around that. The Common Core. So, all right, stop that.
or strange? Kids always do unusual and strange things, and every day. They just do things that make you laugh and make you cry and all of the above. But no, they're just becoming their own little people and their personalities, and that's.
Okay, so in closing for this short interview on child development, I will just say that we have our challenges in our own home, which we refer to as the domestic church in our home. But it really starts with us as parents, in the growth of our children and what we expect of them, and our children truly become who they hang around with and who their parents are in a certain sense. And so I hope I've been of some help with your project. And again, spending time with my daughter is really going to be the key as a father, because I realized that the man that she was going to want to marry is probably going to be a man like who her dad is. And so I have to do the right thing. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
So what I would like for kids to do differently, even coming into 3rd grade, a lot of students already have this fixed mindset that they can't do something, whether they've just struggled in reading or math. And so that's, one thing that we're really working on this year, and that I've been working on for quite a few years, of just having them believe that they can do something, and that they are going to fail, and it is okay to fail. And after a while of, getting up and trying it again, they eventually will get it. So just having them have a growth mindset and be open to learning something hard.